Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining the channel and our live stream. We are going to blame the delay 100% on Lee. I don't even know if he's got audio yet, but he's now on and here, so we can get things kicked off. But
yeah, I can hear you, Lee.
Cool. Shout out to everyone who joined on time, and shout out to Danny who joined at like 2 a.m. So, he hasn't slept. So pulling an all-nighter so he can listen to the AMA, which is awesome.
That's cool.
So this one should be fun. This one's not going to be super structured or whatever. We call it an AMA, and you guys can ask as many questions as you want. But basically, it's just the Foodtopian team together. It's been a little while since we did one of these live streams, and we like to try to do one fairly frequently. But our schedule's obviously overseas, and everybody's working on stuff that don't always align, so we can get on camera at the same time. But we're here, and we want to talk about probably all of our projects, a lot of new stuff coming out, kind of what the roadmap is. And then just wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about crypto, because there's been it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. A lot of stuff looks like it's about to pop off. There's been a few things that have gone under recently, so just gives us an opportunity to get together and sync up and talk crypto in general. So hopefully everyone's doing well. If you guys can hear me okay, smash the like, and if you wouldn't mind just letting us know if the volumes are okay in the chat. Let's get some background music. I really wish I use StreamYard. I really wish StreamYard had some more options for audio, because it's only given us a few.
Hence why I've got no cam. I'm still mid setup in the office, so I'm using a mic that's not been set up. I've got no camera. I've got wires trailing from places I don't know where they're supposed to be. It's just not good.
That's part of the reason I haven't messed around with my setup. Is like it's like a multi-day thing.
It's
a huge hassle. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got audio. We good on audio with everybody? Welcome everyone, by the way. Mark has a request. Mark Bowles, thanks again for always joining and supporting. And we don't want you to miss your bingo, so we'll kick it off. But
Is he going to bingo, is he?
I guess he's about to go to bingo, and he's pretty frustrated with your tardiness, because he misses his bingo. It's over. Also, I'll say
late.
Yeah, true. Very true. Nothing wrong with fashionably late. Just fix my camera. What was I going to say? Something important, and then I forgot. Oh, we got about an hour. Keith's got to jump at an hour. He's got like an investor call that should be really helpful for us. So that's good. And then I got things to do, and I'm sure Lee does too. Lee's got to figure out how to set up a camera and get his mic working.
No. So I'm not doing any of that. I'm not even touching the mixer. None of that tonight. It's a no.
Good, nothing.
I've got 3 videos I need to do as well, but they're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Otherwise, they're going to sound awful. What's my mic sound like, by the way? Audio.
Yeah, sound all right.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay. Well, that's one good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Not bad. Okay. Well, we're all here. Let's start talking about a little bit about our projects. I can do whatever. I can throw whatever up on the screen. I think what we'll do is let's kick off with our ecosystem, starting with the first stuff we launched, kind of where we're at status wise, and then we'll move to the new stuff. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, me.
All right. Let me go. I'm actually afraid. I'm afraid to put on Street Vendor Wars, because every time I bring that tab up, that music just
you lot asked for it.
It's crazy. I have a phone over here that's that I use only for crypto. It's like a specific burner phone that I got like a VPN and all the special stuff on. And even when I'm when I'm trying to use it for anything, because once in a while, like something just won't work on desktop, but I'll go to the mobile and it works fine. And I don't understand why, but I have that as like a backup. And even when I'm in other dApps, it still just plays. So I'll be in whatever dApp trying to claim or whatever, process something. I'll be on the animal farm and that thing will just be playing in the background somehow. I have no idea how that works, but
magic. Christmas magic.
Yeah,
Plus,
it is
they
good.
told me they bullied me into doing it, Scott. I wasn't going to do it, and
Yeah,
I got
makes
bullied
sense.
into doing it.
Sounds
It's
about
Christmas. Pack it in. Just be festive and embrace the Holy Spirit, man.
Right. Let's see. How about this? Let me do this.
Oh no.
Oh no! What? That didn't sound good.
It's not good. I can't. Just carry on, and I'll pipe up here and there.
Sounds good. Let's see. All right. Sorry. I got all sorts of text messages coming in. Got to make sure nothing's imperative. Okay. So back to it. So obviously, when we launched this bad boy and launched the food side of the business, we launched the NFTs, all that type of stuff. Mark wants to kick off about the BNB Vault, which I think he's talking about this side of the ecosystem, the BNB side of the NFTs and all that stuff. So I guess, Keith, I'll let you just hit it, kind of talk us through where we came from, where we're at, all that stuff.
Right. So as you're aware, we've got a couple of games running that are all collecting dev fees. We collected 5 BNB and dev fees just this week alone. So I'm building up a pot of wrap BNB, and then the plan is I know the number we've got to hit to pay everybody what's owed, and then be back up to square straight. So I'm literally waiting to hit that number, because if I put in now, I've then got to work out the numbers again, and then as the weeks trickle on, so I just know each week how much I've got to add. We're making more in dev fees per week, 5 times more in dev fees per week than what needs to be paid out per week. So we're very quickly catching back up.
Nice.
So the plan is get to a stage where we're caught up and a week ahead. I'll then inject those funds, start the pools off again, and then obviously then we're a week ahead of ourselves. We've still got dev fees coming in. So even with the on-ramp issues, because the UK and on-ramping at the moment it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
We can reopen them and be back on it. So that's where we are with that. The money's there. It's just sitting there. It's sitting on my ledger, nice and safe, so it can't be vanished away. And when the number's there and it's right, which is not going to be, if the dev fees keep going like they are, it will be this side of Christmas that they're reopened, and everybody who has been patiently waiting and their fees have been building up in the background, all of a sudden will get a massive injection of the money that they're owed and then start earning again. So that is the plan with that.
So to clarify that, that's 3 weeks away is really the, of the clock. As you guys know, or for those of you guys who haven't been in the Telegram and getting all the details, the on-ramping process in the UK has just been terrible. So we're out there, selling stuff off the turbo truck. It's just really hard to get money back in the system. Obviously, that was the way we designed the ecosystem to have our real world business attached, but just made it a little more difficult. We had to get the truck fixed. Everything was slightly delayed, so we didn't put quite as much in the coffers originally than we should have. So because the UK is a nightmare to work with, we've had to do ancillary things like work out the games and everything, so you get the dev fees coming in that pay for everything. So just to let everyone know, that's how it works. And then Keith, you can explain, when you say the dev fees, you can explain where those are going. We don't really keep, a lot of people say dev fees, okay, those are going straight to the devs, and really that's
we don't get nothing.
We don't really keep those dev fees. Those dev fees that we use from other parts of the ecosystem, we just roll back in to pay for everything, so we can keep it all on chain, and that way we're not fighting the UK government to try to on-ramp and everything like we have been. So yeah, dev fees are coming in. We just put them in other parts of the ecosystem so that everybody who invested could get paid out. It's just a easier way to do it instead of fighting every time we try to put more than a BNB's worth in on-ramped. We start to have struggles or whatever. So on-ramp, off-ramp, still trouble in the UK.
It's not just to add, it's not just about on-ramping. That is a big part of it. We can on-ramp, but every time we on-ramp, we have to put that in our sales ledger as obviously, our purchase ledger as a cost to the business, as a dividend payment to investors. Now, we can't call people investors in crypto because we're not a regulated financial institution in the UK. So we can't get it twisted because we are an actual real business, unlike some others who say they are. They're not, because an on-ramping isn't just a taxable event, it's also an accountable event where you have to justify. If we were audited by HMRC, which is His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, which are the people that can put you away for 35 to life for lying on a form. So we have to be super careful because we're fully doxed. We've got a real business. So even if we'd got 6,000 BNB, we wouldn't be able to on-ramp 6,000 BNB. So what we're trying to do is just work with our chartered accountant to enable us to safely on-ramp the money without any kind of problems down the road when it comes to submitting our yearly accounts, because we want to be transparent and truthful to not only our crypto not investors, contributors, but we also want to be just as transparent to the services and the institutions of the United Kingdom so that we don't get shut down as a business. So on-ramping, yes, Binance and all that is a bit of a pain in the backside, but also just to give people a little bit more of an idea, if they don't know, some probably do, it's a little bit deeper than that. So we have to be careful, and we will be careful, which is why we've decided to Ponzi-nomic, if you like, using crypto. But we get fresh capital coming in. We've also got fresh capital coming in from the outside. So it's not really a Ponzi, it's more Ponzi-nomics. We want to utilize crypto because a lot of crypto projects use their dev fees for not just marketing, but also, for themselves. That they actually take the money themselves and call it marketing. We don't do that. 100% of ours is going to hopefully open the vaults up, hopefully by Christmas, and we're not doing too bad. And if it carries on at the rate it's going, then we're gonna achieve that. But it's important to note that we have to be super careful when it comes to regulation in the United Kingdom, and everyone should do their diligence in any business in any country.
Definitely, yeah. It's not as straightforward as you'd like it to be. And obviously, if all you guys understand, the crypto world is a train wreck. I mean, if you've seen any information from Gary Gensler over here in the US, they do everything they can to confuse crypto companies of what's a security and what's not. There's no basic guidelines. They want to stay in the gray area, I think, until they've got all the big players, all the Black Rocks and those guys of the world, so they have all their pieces where they want them on the chessboard before they make it clear what you can and can't do, so the people at the top win, like with every other thing. So it gets a little bit difficult when you're intertwining this stuff with your business. We just want to do it in the right way. And again, we appreciate everyone's patience in knowing that we're gonna fill those coffers. Everyone will always get paid what they owed. Sometimes you just have to pivot and do things in a little bit different way or a more creative way to make that happen. That's just what we've had to do. But everyone's been super, super gracious about it. And hopefully, like you said, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have all that stuff in. We'll be at least a week ahead. And then Keith's been just developing nonstop. So we're going to have more stuff to play, more dev fees rolling in, and the ecosystem will support itself, and we'll have some fun with it. And I know Killis says, why can't we take some sort of the fees for what we do? It's, all of the work for nothing. I think, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but Keith is really the one racking his brain when he's developing and trying to figure out how to shift this stuff around and be creative. But I mean, I think in the end, it's going to pay off really well for us. These are short-term pains. I think getting everything set up, making sure our name is super trusted, and having some fun stuff to play, and then all the stuff that we're working on in the future. I think right now it seems kind of fruitless. We're not really making a ton from this or whatever. But I think as we roll toward a bull market, when more capital starts swinging into the crypto systems, people are going to look at stuff that's trusted and unruggable, been going really well, and they're going to pile money in there. And then at that point, it's a good time to reevaluate and, obviously take some fees, and we'll be in a good spot in the crypto space. But that's my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't take a wage when the vaults are paused. It doesn't seem right. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so I'd rather get the vaults up, get them running, get them ahead of myself, get the whole, like you said, the machine running. Then when the machines run into the stage where there is money, then then we can reassess about, taking some fees. But as of right now, I'd rather get this out there, get it working properly, get our name for ourselves, that, we're a safe place to be. Anything that I develop is a safe thing to be in. And then, we'll take it from there. But priority at the moment is getting all the vaults pulled, everyone paid out, and just develop like mad to get more stuff out there that people can play and use, knowing that it's safe. Like, yes, we paused the vault because with the issues, we could have Rugged and Vanished, like a few others did, that had issues. Do you know what I mean? But we didn't. We sat here and developed and thought of ways that we could, get the money back in there. So that's priority at the moment. And then obviously we'll reassess once that's sorted and see where we are for, fees and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's kind of when you're building a company, sometimes in the beginning of things, you got to work for free, not really take a salary. I just think it's akin to that. The money will come eventually. You just got to be trusted, got to stay in the space. I think you realize that if you're in crypto, like eventually you're going to make the money, but you're going to take a lot of hits on the way, right? Like all of us that are in all these dApps and everything, we're going to find some killer ones. And especially as the bull market happens, we're going to find some ones that are going to, 100x for us. But you got to hang through all the tough spots. You got to hang through the full bear market to get the full benefit of the bull market when it comes. So it will. A lot of these altcoins and stuff that you guys are buying that have taken a 80% haircut, those will turn around and you'll make a bunch of money on them. It's just part of the process, the ebbs and flows. But I think with the lights at the end of the tunnel, with the new developments and the dev fees that are coming in and that are able to go and backfill those, people are liking the games. You've got a lot more in the pipeline, which I think is awesome. You can develop into the next year. I think there's enough like positivity going on in crypto right now where people are starting to see maybe we're getting our way out of the crypto winter, and we're going to see some real positives. I mean, I've said it on the last few times I've done a video, but if these ETFs get approved, then we're going to see weird stuff in the crypto space. All those big entities like BlackRock, and if they have a Bitcoin spot ETF, and if another entity is able to apply and get approved for an Ethereum spot ETF, you're going to see tons of institutional capital pile into the crypto market, and prices are going to go crazy. People are going to watch that and get crazy FOMO and go, such and such XYZ coin could be the next one. So you're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. I think that's a fun time to be in crypto if you're already in it. It's not a fun time to hear about the hype forever and then buy in the middle or buy the top and then you get worked. But if you're in it already during all the tough times and all that stuff happens, stuff could really pop off, and hopefully you've got a nice little portfolio of stuff that can 1000x for you. We lost.
Can I just put in, because I've just noticed a few people started saying about like the fee, the whole idea, like for example, the platinum NFTs, the money from them is what I use for development. So I've had a few people say to me like, am I developing out of pocket? That's what the platinum NFTs were designed for. The money from those is going for the cost of development, for running servers and all that kind of stuff. So we're not out of pocket. We're just not taking any money that is not needed. If it's a business expense, it's paid. At the moment, our wages aren't classed as a business expense at the moment. So, that's where we're at.
Yep. And I'd say most people, a lot of people who watch our initial stuff, if they're watching the videos, or the people who are watching the videos who aren't as active on Telegram, we can talk through that too, because obviously we got the NFTs originally that helped us raise the money to buy the trucks and all that. You can still purchase those down here, you'd mint them, and then these vault balances is how you get your rewards paid out. So those will get turned back on in a couple of weeks, and then you'll have all your ability to claim those rewards. But you also, to help in this process, you created the platinum NFT. So there's probably a few people or several people on here who haven't heard about the platinum NFT. So I'll let you explain it.
Yeah. All right. So the platinum NFTs, they're one BNB. Can you get in on there? Have you got yours attached? No. I'll send you a link, Scott.
I can get into it.
Are you sure? Because I can send you the link to get in. Yeah, just show it while it's up on there. So while you're getting, I'll just explain.
To get all the way in.
You can get all the way in if because you've got one, so you'll be able to get in. So Scott can't get, unless you own a platinum NFT, you can't get into the spot. So
okay, that's what it'll say. If you click on platinum NFT, it'll say none found unless you're in under the right wallet. So let me get a refresh.
Yeah. And then it'll be easier to talk. See, Scott's now got members area because he owns a platinum NFT.
So, show this members area, and
again, right.
again, I want to make sure that people understand, like, I bought the NFT with my own money because I wanted to make sure I understood how it worked and, you know, all that stuff. So we don't just mint these things for ourselves so we get any of the rewards back or whatever. Like, everything we've done to this point, all the games that we're involved in and all that, we put our own money in.
Yeah, own money in.
Yeah, we don't take any, we don't mint ourselves free stuff or whatever so we can scrape some off the top. It doesn't work like that at all with us.
Right. So this doesn't look brilliant right now because today is Friday. So I literally this morning paid everybody. Everyone this morning got 2.1% ROI this morning on their initial. So basically what you've got to see there, you can see the 2 boxes for the 2 games that are live. The top box there shows the dev fee the game has made. And then the box underneath that shows how much of that dev fee, which is 15%, will get paid to the investors. So the more dev fees we make each week, the more money the investors get. And then obviously the wallet addresses below there with how much they've made. So the people who got it week 1 are literally nearly at 10%. I was really annoyed it was another 0.2%. I'd love to get them to 10% after 3 weeks, but it's, so yeah, this is live. As I put dev fees in, this all works and goes live. It leaves back. So you pay 1 BNB. All you have to physically do is hold the Platinum NFT in your wallet. You do nothing else. There's no stake in it. And then every Friday, around 9:10 a.m. UK time, the BNB will go in your wallet. And then in the Telegram group that went in this morning, there's a list of all the transaction hashes to show that everyone's been paid. And that's all you need to do is just buy it and hold it. And all the money that goes from these goes into development to pay for the servers, because people were saying how could they help, you know, maintain, keep all the server costs and stuff. So this is what we decided to do. And then obviously it then gives me a pot of BNB that I can use to develop for, create smart contracts, get any plugins I need, create any new servers. It paid for the SSL certificate for Street Vendor Wars and Food Fighters, so that they got their own domain names now and a trusted locked Google domain names. So there's no like, this site isn't secure. It covered the cost of those, and it just covers stuff like that. The new game that I've got coming, it's covering all the contract creation of those and all the NFT minting of those. So it's a way of helping make the ecosystem work more, because then there's more money to be able to make it. Because obviously we're not taking any money from the actual dev fees we want to fill the vaults with those. But then instead of just like, hey, here's 1 BNB, good luck, it's hey, here's 1 BNB, and you'll just continue to, these never run out. So as long as I'm developing, you'll keep earning. So once he's at 100%, it just carries on. And there, the people who got on week 1, 10% ROI in 3 weeks. And that first week there was only Street Vendor Wars, and it was only being shared within our like private circle. It hadn't gone like it has now. So like I've already got, let me just look now real quick. Today, for example, Street Vendor Wars in literally 10 hours has made another 0.3 BNB in dev fees, which will be put into here tomorrow morning. So yeah, the rewards are good. You're helping the ecosystem, and basically it's like you're getting a pot. So even though you're making money in Street Vendor Wars from your own set of truck, every time someone does a buy, does a sell, anything, part of that money is also going to go to you as a Platinum NFT holder. There are, I think there are about 17 left now. There's only about 17 left. There's only a maximum of 50. So I believe there's only, what's the last number that I put in before? Yes, there's 17 left. That's it. And then they're gone. Like that person at the bottom that says 0, they literally only bought after I did today's stuff. So they'll get start ROI on theirs next week.
And that's pretty much what they are. You do that start of the month?
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. There's a date. The next date's there. So the next date is the 8th. So it's every Friday. I move it across.
Gotcha.
And get it all done.
That's easy. So just another way to get involved and just get a little share of the dev fees. So if you like playing the games, then you're good. If you don't want to play the games, but you just want a slice of it, then you can buy the Platinum NFT. It's 1 BNB, and it's truly passive income. You just let it sit, stake, and it'll land in your wallet. So kind of a cool way. Like I said, when you are in this space, of course, it seems like you have to have the ability to pivot quite often, because they don't make it easy. So this was just one of the pivots. It was a good idea, helps people get involved, because there's a lot of folks out there who are just real big advocates of us and, you know, the Foodtopian team and all of us as individuals. And so we can't thank them enough, because they've been totally, understanding. They know how the crypto space is. So it's like, oh, hey, if you're struggling over there with the, I own a bunch of NFTs. If you're struggling over there, how can we help with this? How can we help maintain costs? And so we've got guys like Kirk, who are always trying to do cross promotions with his protocols, and a handful of other teams. Keith's speaking to a team right now that loves the way we do stuff. People are tired of getting rugged. And so just a good opportunity for people to get into to protocols that they know aren't going to go anywhere. And it's just nice that people have been flexible with us. Anytime we run into an issue, we find a way to fix it. We just got to be a little creative. But I thought this was a cool one.
Yeah, the Platinum's really cool because it's like exactly like you just said. At the end of the day, 99.9% of these projects, DeFi projects, I should say, run into an issue at some point, whether that be a bank run, whether it be an exploit, whether it be a malicious act on behalf of the team, whether it be anything outside of BNB Miner and a handful of others have disappeared, and most of them have disappeared with a cloud hanging over them. Whereas with us, we've had some of the issues that some projects face, but we're not going anywhere. We're just going to keep coming up with ideas. I mean, me and Keith talk on the phone pretty much every day. Me and Scott talk pretty much every day in DMs and sometimes on WhatsApp and stuff like that. And there's always something that you're thinking, hang on, this could be. I mean, we throw away 50 ideas a month. That they're great ideas, but the coding that's required to do it, we'd need Keith to have a team of 50 devs. We'd be like Activision building the next Call of Duty. So we have to manage our own expectation, but at the same time, innovation is pretty cool. And even if we take someone else's idea and improve on it, it's only like the mobile phone. Back in the day, mobile phones were a brick in a car. Now I'm looking at one and it's streaming my camera in 4K. So, it's always good to innovate and take something that's worked maybe in the past and fix it a little bit and put it back on. Street Vendor Wars, I mean, I don't know what the contract balance is at the moment. It was like
150. Yeah, it's 150.
150. All right.
Yeah.
We expected it to do 100 and we were happy with it, but there's no stopping it. It could go to 1,000 BNB. And for us to take any money out of it, we have to buy our own trucks. There's no minting function. There's no backdoor ways of getting food books. You have to buy them with BNB and that's it. And it's all on chain, which we will always be on chain. And that's very important to us. But this, I love it. And the Christmas update's great. Obviously, Keith refused to put a mute button on for 24 hours. So last night, I said to Keith earlier, Mrs. said to me this morning, she didn't say anything. She was humming a tune. I was like, that's our Street Vendor. I said, yeah, your laptop was playing it for 6 hours from 3 in the morning till 9 this morning.
I believe it.
Funny. But yeah, it's a cool game.
I love it. So here's this. So this is a big one, though. Congratulations to the full team and all of you guys who got involved. 150 BNB. We just rolled over that this morning, so that's pretty cool. It seems to be steadily growing. I think people are content to know that this thing isn't going anywhere, so they're upgrading trucks, they're building it up, and they're getting to the next truck and the next truck, and so we're seeing a lot of people start to battle it out. I know Kirk has a syndicate that he's got together, and so they're purchasing trucks on the regular, and so it's kind of a cool, I don't know, it's a cool play to earn game that's got that miner feel to it, and people are getting excited about it. And we're really just kind of getting started with this 150 BNB. It's really only gone up. We don't see days where there's big drawdowns or anything like that. So I think we're primed to hit 200, 250 and kind of see where this thing is going to go as people decide they want to get in. But it's a cool one, and the Christmas theme's cool. What's the long-term vision for this one?
That was my next point, actually.
So, yeah, well, we can, because obviously it's not ruggable, right? Obviously a lot of people know there's been like things like the pizza tower and stuff that came before that's the same kind of idea. So I took ideas from all those, and there's no way, and the contract's on chain for people to see, there is no physical withdraw button for me to withdraw that 150 BNB. So the only reason this will end is when it ends, and then there's nothing to stop us then reskinning it, refeaming it, and being like, right, guys, we're going to run with a V2 and go again. There's no, because it's not gonna leave with a bad taste in people's mouth when it does eventually, come to an end, because it will come to an end naturally. So we feel that people will then be like, oh, we'd like to do that again. So then we'll reskin it in some way, and and then bring out a V2 and let right, guys, off you go again, and let people go again. Because I know people are making some really good money in this. So it's it's the kind of thing where we can keep going it. Anything I've created, I think we said before, I don't plan to take anything off our servers at all. So it's just a matter of if people want something put back on, you're making live again, it can be made live. If it's on the server, it's on the server. It'll be on there until, it will just always be. I'm not moving it, so it's just always going to be there, and we can just reskin it, like me and Lee were talking about. We can reskin it, bring it back out, because the contract's working perfectly. So if we want, it's just a matter of re-theming the contract and letting people have another run. Maybe on another chain or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I like this too. Love the cars driving on the right hand side. Me too.
Yeah, the wrong side.
Makes sense that
well
way.
Well done, Keith. Thanks for doing that.
You can deal with it.
Yep. No, I think that's a super valid point. Like, here's one thing that we've done pretty lightly that I think we'll do a lot better in the future. So in development in these games, we've kind of created them, or Keith's created them really, and then we've rolled them out and done some testing and let our our core DAO play with them, try to find any issues with them so we can go in and fix the stuff. And they've all kind of had soft launches. We haven't had like a crazy big launch. This is launching in 30 days or whatever. So this one will, I think we can do pretty well with it, but eventually, of course, like everything else, it'll run its course. Like you said, we can just stop it for a bit, we'll reskin it, and then we'll do a launch where we hype it up and get everybody excited about getting into it, and then launch it again and try to see if we can get 150 BNB in a day rather than kind of doing it incrementally. So I think this one's got a lot of potential for us to do it, a couple of year or quarterly, however long it takes to run its course. It's been up now for how many weeks? It's been up for 5 weeks or so. How long has it been?
It's got to be 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's got to be. Well, yeah, the dev fees, I've been paying dev fees out on 3 weeks, and it was up before that for the Platinum NFT, so it's at least 4 or 5 weeks easy.
Yeah, so not too bad. It's doing well, and all it's done is grow. So we figure we probably got at least another couple months out of this one before it'll start to come down, and we'll see where we end up, and then we can restart the thing and do another theme and all that. So I think it's just a cool way to keep resetting and allow people to play the game. And I think in the future, when we do launches, we'll try to really hype them up and see if we can get tons of people to pile in on day one, and we'll do some more AMAs and all that type of stuff, which will really spike it. We got on DApp Radar this time, which is, first time. Good job, Lee, getting us on DApp Radar. So I think we've got, potential, especially as we work more toward a bull market, people are more excited about crypto, to get like more of a mass user adoption. And we could see 1,000 BNB or more, we could get some big dollars coming into these things.
39 days exactly.
Is that what it is?
Launched. Yeah, 23rd of October. So what's that? A month. So 4 weeks. Yeah, exactly. 5 weeks yesterday was the calendar achievement.
Love it. Yeah, so 5 weeks. Shout out to Crypto Phil. So I was actually thinking about doing this today, so let's do it. So for those of you guys who don't know, Crypto Phil does a lot of charitable things, right? So he'll help kids in India, Africa, all this stuff. And so he's got in the description of every single one of my videos, he's got a wallet address that he accepts donations to, and then he gives 100% of that out to the kids. And he films it all, and it's pretty impressive. So go check out his channel if you haven't already. But I'm gonna pull this off screen real quick and get the wallet address. I'll post it in the comments down below, but I'm gonna make a donation right now. So give me a little second. We're gonna do that because it's Christmas time, and he's super helpful. One of the most helpful people in the space, one of the best guys in the space. So we're gonna show him some love right now. So you guys can chat amongst yourselves while I get this wallet address.
Yeah, one of the things I was gonna just expand on was when you talked about Street Vendor Wars running its course. Now, like we said in the very, very first video and AMA about it, was it's always going to stay on Keith's server, or our server, Keith's server, you know, it's all the same. And we're not going to, it's even if the contract balance, because if the contract balance went to zero in 2 months' time, that's because people have made a lot of money. Let's not forget that. It's not us. You can see I do a video every week of my trucks, and I earn 0.09 BNB per day. And I've currently got all 5 trucks up to level 2 and 3 up to level 3, I think, something like that. So technically, the people who've got a lot of money in it, they are earning a BNB a day. They're not all taking it because they're being responsible, because they want it to last. Because at the end of the day, if this keeps going, everyone can take a little, compound a little, take a little, compound a little. And I know everyone says it, excuse me, but there is a lot of scope for people to make a lot of money. And it's not too late for people to put money in, because it's not 100% a miner where you just need to put money in to get money out. You can actually compound your way through. And we're going to make sure that when the vaults are full and paying out in front of themselves, which they're going to be doing in the new year for sure, because we already worked that out with a couple of other things. And we've decided that when there is a V2, it's not actually going to be a V2. It's going to be the same Street Vendor Wars that you know, but we might just change and tweak a couple of the mechanics and build upon it. So instead of it just being, let's shut it down and then 6 months later build another one, it's actually going to be an evolution of itself. And it's going to, we always take feedback from not just our DAO, but from people who are in the project themselves. Can you do this? What about this? We've got thousands of ideas. So the good thing about that one is it's never going to die, because it's always going to be live. Food Fighters is never going to die because it's peer-to-peer. So if we get 1 player or 1,000 players, we still get the dev fees for it, and every single one of those dev fees all the way back into the ecosystem. And then obviously the vaults are back open. Pulside is working as it's intended. The on-ramping, which we're going to be doing carefully, slowly and surely, that's going on. And what are we now? How old are we? 8 months old? Something like that. About 8 months old, yeah. The company itself is 7 months old, but we as a project are just over 8. So I think, you know, I don't want to blow our own trumpets. That's what she said. But we ain't going anywhere. And I don't know how many times I've got to say it. We're always going to be up front and in front of people's faces. And which is why I put in our Telegram the other day, people have been asking me if we're going dark. And I referenced Brick by Brick with the lads over there, so props to them. I don't know what it's all about, but we are not doing that because some of their investors are invested in us. So obviously, you know, we have to answer some similar questions. But no, we're staying on chain because it's just how we feel we have to run the business. And I just want to put that out there in front of people who might not have seen the Telegram post yesterday, because I did have 2 DMs asking me, so it's relevant. So,
yeah, I think for us, it doesn't make sense to go off chain. Obviously, the games are on chain, the NFT staking's on chain, all that stuff is on chain. So for us, it has to be transparent where the money comes. There's no way for us to go off chain, first of all. So that makes sense. But yeah, people need to actually see where the money's going to and from. I think it's important for our business model. And then we're going to do a little bit better job probably this year. It's winter, so it sucks, but of showing more stuff about the truck. We've been sharing some about it, but we'll probably do some more live streams, truck live streams. I am really actively trying to find a time where I can get over there to the UK so we can mess around and do that stuff together. So that stuff's all coming. But yeah, for us, you know, if anyone's questioning, it doesn't make sense. Our model's all locked into DeFi, and it's all has to do with smart contracts and all that. So there's really no way that we could go dark in any way.
Yeah, and just touching on that, part of the obviously I've been sharing content day by day in Telegram, just to show that we are actually out there. But what I've found, and it's quite humbling, is the difficulty with Turbo Truck. Its name should give you the clue. It doesn't hang around. It's literally at the stop, you get the money and you run to the next stop, and then you get your money and then you run to the next stop. I was at Quick Fit, which is a national chain over here for It's like Mr. Tires and Mr. Plum over there or whatever. There's thousands of them. I was there having a tyre fix, which I forgot about. And the lad was like, all fixed, mate, all ready. Can you open up the van? I said, it's not in commission today because it's here, having work fixed, the work done to it. He's like, have you got any cans of Monster? So they took all my Monsters, Diet Cokes, Mars bars, Snickers, and 2 other chocolate bars. I mean, we made like $30 while I was having the tyre fixed at the garage, which I found pretty cool. But it's so difficult to set up the stream. And then there's a couple of people when I was video recording the parts of the day, and he was like, oh, I don't want to be on camera, man. My wife thinks I'm so-and-so. I should be here and I shouldn't be there. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just trying to navigate selling food, taking money, doing the math, doing the card payments, doing the cash payments, and keeping people as private as they want to be. But some people have questioned the crypto thing. And I've got 3 people who I'm talking to. 2 have invested in Street Vendor Wars. I set them up a MetaMask, I sent them $2 in BNB, and then showed them how to do it. And now they are actually following all of us on the journey. I don't know who they are in terms of their pseudonym, but it's given me an idea of there is people out there that actually will bring money in. So they bought $200 of BNB with MoonPay on their credit card with whatever bank they're in because they're personal banking. So it's cool to see that people who've bought food from us, I've never known them, never seen them before, and now involved in our ecosystem and watching probably this either now or on catch up. So there you go. It's cool. External revenue.
It is cool. What's the I don't even have the most recent update. I know we were talking about this the other day. I know that people are starting to get used to seeing the truck, and they want it real obvious who we are. I know, so we're talking about getting a wrap on the truck. That's been underway for a while. We just haven't had the opportunity to do it. I don't know if you got anything back recently on the truck wrap and details around that.
Yeah, so I've got all the pricing. I'm just working with him on the next set of designs because I've sent it back saying it's not really. I mean, my wife said something that I'm not going to repeat on camera, but if you can imagine, it's a baguette like a Subway with meat in the middle, and the picture looks a little bit strange. So it doesn't look like a Subway, mate. It looks like OnlyFans. So I've sent it back away, and I've said I want some this. I've basically done a little design, a poor one, but I've said you take that, and that's what I want. With some, this is the font, and this is the colours and stuff. So it's going to be done in January. About the 14th is our date to be booked in to have it wrapped. So we've got until Christmas to back and forth the designs, which you two need to help me with, because once it's on, it's on. But yeah, people are saying, as good as the van looks with what it says, it basically says what we do. We need to stamp our brand on it, because I've seen one truck a little further afield and I know exactly who they are because I've seen the truck fly past me once. So that's obviously what we need. But yeah,
just a little more brand awareness, and it'll look cool. Get the Foodtopian brand out there a little bit more, and then that allows us to do another truck or another turbo truck rather. And as long as it's branded the same, people know, and they're going to get that same experience, and we can kind of spread those out. So I think it'll be good. I think through the winter we'll coast through the winter, through the super cold months out there, and then probably go into growth mode in the spring. I think with a lot of stuff, crypto, the food business, I think everything. I think it'll be time for us to push the gas pedal, so to speak, and try to really drive this thing forward.
Well, I want mega truck for sure by spring. Have to have that. Whether that
we're going to need that by spring.
Money, we need it. Whether that means aggressive raising with some more money coming in. Let's be honest, that's what it's going to need, because to reinvest profits from the food business in the first year is what we're doing, but we also need to leave some cash in bank for future investment raises in the real world when we move into the restaurant side, which is another push in Q3 next year. And we also need another turbo truck, but a newer one with more capacity, because this one is great, but its earning potential is capped at, say, 3 BNB a day. You can't get any more food into it. It burns at the back because it's too hot. and you're not supposed to use certain areas for, the day's work. Yeah. Whereas the newer versions of the truck, which are 40, 50 grand, they're expensive, but they're now using 2023 technology, even in terms of cashless payment, charging stations, the new post CV19 surfaces. Some of the surfaces, even though they're all stainless steel and aluminium, if they're over a certain age, they can harbour bacteria. They just want you to buy new electric vehicles. I get it, but we're going to have to push towards a more carbon neutral version of the turbo truck. This one's good for another 5 years, but we need one that's a 2023, 2024 model to really utilise the.
Plus, if we want to go eventing next year, we have to have a truck by spring, because we can't book into an event and be like, yeah, we'll hopefully have a truck. Please give us the space. Yeah, there needs to be a truck what we're selling, because obviously they need to know everything. So we need that, and that's going to happen in the new year, definitely. But we'll have to see how we go with that. But yeah, it's got to happen by spring to be able to use it in the summer.
Gotcha. Those will be big. Those events will be super big. So we'll have to have the big truck for that. So, I mean, ideally, I think we're in a pretty good position, though. I think our investors, all you guys who have played around with the dApps and all that type of stuff, all the games and everything we have, you guys know that we're trusted in the space. So I think that's been super helpful. I think we got the community on our side. So I think what we'll do is by the end of the year, all the coffers will be filled. Everyone will be getting paid out normal. We'll be in a really good position. Those dev fees will be coming in from the games and all the future development. And then we'll need to just work on what the next steps are. Sorry, let me close this down so it stops dinging. But that's probably going to be to get the large truck. In order for us to get the mega truck, we're going to have to fill the saucepan. So all the investments and everything, we're going to start piling these up, do another raise, maybe do some raising in real life and get that going. So I guess just be prepared for that here in the near future. And hopefully the community knows that even though we may not be paying the highest percentages out there, that our products are unruggable, and it's much better than the ROIs you'd be getting in the standard markets out here in the space.
Yeah, I mean, 70 to 80% a year is nothing to be sniffed at. And again, I had sleepless night about these bloody vaults, because as soon as I started getting, I mean, the Binance issue has been the peak of the mountain in terms of the issues that we were seeing. When I got that message that I shared in Telegram, Revolut basically said, "You ain't dealing with Binance with us, mate." Yet Revolut was so Binance compatible, Keith, weren't they, last year?
Yeah.
Like at the start of the year.
Yeah. You could do anything. Yeah.
You could on-ramp. We off-ramped 15, so what would that be? $17,500, like that. When we bought the trailer. To get the trailer, yeah. I was in London picking it up, and Keith off-ramped it within seconds to Revolut. Didn't even bounce. And then the day after, I on-ramped £750, so about $1,100, straight back into Wrap BNB to send back to Keith, which was the balance in change of repairs and getting the truck back, the trailer back, and that. And then all of a sudden, we had that message, and then I started seeing more and more issues. Monzo blocked me, which is another online bank. I don't know if you have that in the US, Monzo. It's basically just an app-only bank. They were super brilliant. They blocked it. And then I started thinking, we're going to have problems here. And then the Binance thing came to a head, obviously, with CZ last week, and you kind of see why some of the banks I don't agree with, but they did what they did. But we found ways, like I put in Telegram again, of potentially using a BTC sort of way of getting it. Instead of pounds to BNB to the vault, we can utilize ETH and Bitcoin a little bit more. It costs us a little bit more in fees, but nothing that's going to affect our payouts come Christmas. You're muted, Scott.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I think a lot of these guys, these banks and stuff, I think they just went into protection mode. I think they probably were getting wind of what might go on with CZ and Binance being so massive, the biggest one out there, that I think maybe they were just protecting themselves. That's got to stop soon, though. I think they're made an example of CZ. They did CZ pretty dirty, tried to drag him down to everything, but I'm sure there's a good reason that they structured the deal with him, we'll say, in the way that they did, and he pleads guilty to this and pays this fine. I'm sure that's all in some way by design, to reach some sort of outcome where governments can save face and then start to open this new door to a regulated crypto environment, and they can say, see, here's what we did to CZ, he was doing some things wrong, don't do that in the future. So I think the doors are going to start to open, especially as BlackRock and these guys come in. They're just going to let the guys at the top make the big money.
Yeah, I agree.
But as long as it works for us, on-ramp, off-ramp, we just want simple stuff. I mean, obviously we want to be in a decentralized space, but it's tricky. You got to on-ramp and off-ramp. We're not in a scenario right now where entities in the real world, for the most part, are accepting BNB or Pulse or any of these other things. So we got to find a way to off-ramp and transition back and forth between currencies and multiple different countries. And it's just it presents another challenge, but we'll figure it out. I think, honestly, this year is probably going to be a marker year for crypto. Like I said, I think those ETFs are going to get approved. A bunch of regulation will come down the pipe. Some will be good, some won't be good. But I think in the end, it's the only way that crypto develops, because if all these banks are going to shy away and they're going to shut things down like that, and you now can't figure out how to off-ramp it, it's a lot harder to get people who don't understand the DeFi world into it and bring money into that. You're just going to have a bunch of us nerds over here trying to transact, trade back and forth in altcoins, which can only go so far. You got to find a way to connect it to the real world. And I think we'll actually see that this year.
Keith, could you do me a favor? Could you explain, because some people might not know, the screen that Scott's showing there, where it says the vault balance, why does it say there's 11 in the meal deals, why does it say that yet people can't claim at the moment?
Okay, so
you need to explain.
So basically the way I did the contract, again, because I don't like rugging stuff, I like people to not get paid. So the balance of the contract takes money even if they haven't claimed it. So say Scott hadn't claimed for 6 months and had made free BNB in that 6 months, it would hold free BNB in the contract. So when Scott came to claim, his free BNB was there. It wasn't like eaten up by everyone else. So that 11.28 BNB is unclaimed meal deal money. Now, who hasn't claimed, I don't know. I can't get it out. It's there, but that's what it is. So all those little tiny vault balances right now is all unclaimed money that someone has built up and just needs to claim.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the individual, so it's just wallet specific. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just so that you don't have. The whole idea is like we wrote it, so it's a kind of like I can stake my NFT, come in once a month, and take out my money knowing it's in the contract, because it's the contract just put it aside for you as you've made it. That's how I kind of went about doing it. Okay.
So Scott, can you click claim rewards on your pizzas?
Yep, I can.
And does it tell you what?
Let me just show you what Danny posted though. This is interesting based on our conversation that just had. We may have some solutions for you in 2024. So him having some on-ramp, off-ramp solutions for us would be super awesome. So that should be something to really look forward to. But just so everyone understands, to go back, what Keith was saying is when people buy the NFTs, we basically say, hey, we're going to just take part of that money and put it right in the bucket. So you can claim that. So there's always going to be something there for you. And we're going to take the rest and we're going to invest it in the business, which was the plan the whole time. The only reason we kind of got behind, besides the banking issues, is it just took us a little bit longer to get all the approvals for the food sales and get the truck fixed and all that. So we really started, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks later than we wanted to of actually selling food out of the business. So that's part of the reason that we created a specific runway and we just overran it a little bit. We weren't quite prepared to be that slow. So that's the purpose of money. You pay in, we automatically set some of your money aside for you to get paid out for the next few months while we go and earn the money with the real food business. So hopefully that makes sense.
It was 12 weeks in the end. With the third delay just pushed us that little bit too far, which was unfortunate, but DeFi has its problems, but everyone knows real business has its problems. Me and Keith struggled for about 4 weeks to fix a certain issue with the DVLA, which is our DMV, maybe, in America.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is. Isn't it?
Yeah, DVLA, Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency. They lost our logbook, which is the thing you need to insure and tax the vehicle, or registration, as you call it over there. And that 4 weeks extra on top of the 8 delay, it just, yeah. But that's one of them things. And I love talking about it. It's bad because I've got some steak fries I need some BNB for.
Right. All right, so if you hit claim rewards, I'm not going to show you anything because it won't show my Rabby wallet. It's up, but you can't see it. So anyway, pretend you can see it.
I can see it. So does it show you the rewards? Like what your claim BNB or something?
No, it will show you in the contract.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
It only shown the contract. If I claim rewards on so I haven't claimed all out of what's due to me for the ones that I have staked in the pizzas. So it does show me there, but it doesn't show, it just shows me to when the cutoff happened or whatever I had left, which is like $3.57 and wrapped BNB.
So in terms of the background stuff, me and Keith, I asked him the other day if he could aggregate all of the data, so fries, pizzas, burgers, hot dogs and meal deals. What is the liability on each tax vault, so I know what we need to achieve in order for the vaults to be full. Obviously Keith knows all that on contracts and stuff, but I need to know in terms of, for instance, I'm pledging 25% of any promotional videos I do to put into the vaults to keep us ahead of ourselves when we on ramp, because I'm going to be paying some people off. So there's going to be a winner of either fries, pizza, burger or hot dog, not the meal deal because I ain't made of money. In 2024, I'm going to do like a monthly lottery where I will pay for someone's full NFT claims and the future ROI, so up to 250% on the NFTs. But obviously we've got to fill the vaults before we do that. So we've been working on exactly knowing down to the penny what the liability on each tax vault is to ensure that every one of them is full and filled and in front of itself, so that everyone can claim out their BNB and either reinvest back in when we open up the vaults again, the sales again, or take the money, pay bills, or do anything they want to. That's what it's all about. It's your money, it's not ours, it's yours.
Keith, my man, how much time do you have?
Let me just check if that's a message saying that I haven't got any time.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no time. That was a message saying that I have no time. I've got to go and take a meet.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks, man, for joining. Obviously, we'll try to get connected here soon. We'll get another one going prior to Christmas, probably just prior to Christmas, and
get yourself effed off, mate. Lovely bloke, though.
Yep, awesome. All right, my man.
Brilliant. All right, I'll see you soon. See you later.
Bye bye.
All right, my friend. It's just us now. Now we can talk about Keith behind his back on that stream. But no, that was good. I think we've got more probably to discuss with the Food Fighters game and all that. Maybe we'll save that for a little bit. But I think we covered the majority of what we were going to talk about with Foodtopian, just where we're at. Of course, you've got the Pulse side. Those are paying out great. We've got Street Vendor Wars up here. The pools and the farms. If you guys want to park money in this ecosystem, you can get some pretty good APRs. Let's just see what we got here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Farms. Enhance.
I don't think the farms are even open yet, are they? It's the pools.
Yeah, the pools. Where are we at here?
That's partly my fault with the farms. I told Keith that we needed to focus on the vaults first, and then we can open up parts of the ecosystem, because we don't want to dilute people's thoughts into too much stuff. As good as it is, we want people to get the money that they're owed and then continue to make money all the way through till their NFT passes away.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
we got a little bit of money in here, a couple $1,000. I've got some in my personal UMS tokens here. I've got just a little bit in Tether and a few other things. So just been staking a little bit and letting it build up, earning some food tokens. But just
in terms of the food token as well, that we should have really spoke about that, because it's still a massive part of our ecosystem. It's just that we're so focused on vaults, games, dev fees for the ecosystem, that once we do actually fill those vaults, which, like I say, I'm hoping for, before Christmas, which I think we're on track to do as it stands right now. Not going to promise it, but it looks like we're on track. I think that once we've done that, that's when our buybacks, the percentage of the funds that we earn from the dev fees, is going to be buying the food token back. We're also, if you get to Food Fighters, we're burning the food token from everyone that plays Food Fighters with the Food V2 token, and the Drip token and the UMS token. We're actively burning it and creating LPs within themselves. So in a bull run, let's say that, something happens amazing, BNB goes to $500-600. I know we've got issues with Binance, but I don't think that's long term. We've already started creating BNB LPs with our native tokens, and then in the bull run, that's going to drag the prices up, but our buybacks and burns are going to be quite significant. They're happening at the moment, but when they're on the next level with the dev fees, with all the games, we're going to be buying back at unnamed times to stop front running lots of food tokens. So you can't say what price he's going to do, because we never know. But we're making conscious efforts into buying that token back and making sure that every single thing inside this project gets bought back and reinvested all the way back into the system. So if you're earning food from the pools, or the Megatruck pool and the Spanish pool, just think about what we're going to be doing when we put our attention back onto the token itself. Because people have also made a lot of money in the food token. Let's not forget it. We saw people making 3 BNB a day when it was at the all-time high. It was like 15-20 cents or whatever it was. Liquidity was about 8,000, so people were taking money. I think people forget that when they look at a price and think, well, what about it? Well, people made money, and quite a bit of it. Yeah.
Definitely. So once that gets pumped up again, I think we'll be good. Yeah. So I think we're getting in a pretty good position. It's taken a little bit longer than we would have liked, but again, when you're in business, it's kind of how things always go. And then there's the additional issues with the on-ramp, off-ramp, all that type of stuff. So I think, like you said, those pools of money for the NFTs, those are going to be filled up in the next couple of weeks. Then people will be able to claim. I think that'll get us right back on track, where we'll be at least a week ahead of where we need to be. And we got multiple games, dev fees coming in. If you want to be involved in that, you buy a platinum NFT and you can just park it in your wallet and just get paid out every Friday. And then we're going to be focused on, of course, springtime. We're going to actively go out and try to raise money for the mega truck, because I think that one could be a killer. All these events, man, they make so much money at those big events. You just line out the door. So that's something we need to be prepared for and get that done. And then we still are very serious about the Spain saucepan. And I think that'll be one that becomes a lot easier for us as money's rolling into the crypto space. As we get into that bull market, stuff's going to start piling in. People are going to get excited. And I know Crypto Watcher's on. She's in Spain. She loves this idea. And
she's selling food. So she's already got a business that she can even run from one of our places. So
exactly. Yeah.
50-50. You know what I mean? It all works.
Exactly. Yeah. She's over there killing it, doing food plans and all sorts of stuff. So excited to have her on the team.
And I think what the next phase in terms of like on the macro is that we understand that we build a lot and we build it fast. Poor Keith, he gets absolutely run ragged every single day. And what we need to do in the next few weeks, obviously, like I say, I keep reiterating, the BNB Vault is our absolute priority, because that is the first thing that we released, and it has to be the sustainable thing, which it is. And we're already 50% there right now, which with I think 3 weeks it's took us to get 50% there. So it's only going to take another 3 to 4 weeks to get the 100% there, but more because we've got a lot more TVL than we had previously. but we're going to tidy up the website. We're going to take off some of the more stagnant stuff. And if people have got a little bit of money in there, we're going to pay them back the money. We're just going to send it straight back. In terms of, you know, if we've launched something and haven't focused on it, this is me being totally honest. Like, I ain't going to BS anybody. It's like, if we've took $1,000 in TVL in, let's say, a pool or a part of the website that we haven't focused on, we're just going to pay that money back, like, you know, and then we're going to close it down and shelve it until next year when we're able to focus on other parts. Because you'll see we've got that many different things on the website. I don't want people to get confused. So we need to focus on our goals, and different times of the year yield different types of parts of the business plan. For instance, the Spain saucepan, that's not going to get people buying in the winter, let's face it. But as we move into the spring and the summer, people want to go to Spain. Over here, it's a big deal, and we'll get that fixed up. The mega truck has to be a thing, because for Keith to register on these events that he's got ins with, we have to have, like we've said before, a truck of a certain level that's not just a burger and a hot dog van. It has to be something different, street food wise, which we've already got the concept for. And then the pools and the farms, they will always sit there earning money. The food token, obviously the NFTs on the pool side, they're paying out. The vaults are open. They're working perfectly fine. And just sling as much food as we possibly can. But like I said about the first turbo truck, it's brilliant. The trailer's working with it in sync. It's superb. But it needs to be a little bit more faster in terms of service. And the only way to do that is to get the newer version, which is, I mean, for me, it's like a Tesla Model X or Y or whatever it is, the top one. It's a beast. And our little truck turbos around, and then you get to 1 o'clock and you've run out of space. So you either come back and fill up again and try and catch the last little bit of dinner time, or it kind of like dies down, and you don't want to waste food by, if you come back and prep another van full and bring it back, you know, we give it away to people who are less fortunate than us, and any kind of food bank that accepts us. And we've done that a couple of times now. We've given food away. I've got some video footage of it actually, which I should share. But it's more a case of being efficient with the business, give when we can, but we're all about taking when we can as well, because that's what business is. We need the money.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's an interesting business, and one that really does challenge you every day. I'm up till 11 o'clock prepping food, then back up at 5 warming that food up to go out. But it's so rewarding when you take a payment from someone and they eat your food, and they come back again the next day and say, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" And this month we're doing turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce, and gravy baguettes. So it's like a Christmas dinner on a baguette wrapped in foil. It's delicious.
Yeah,
people are loving
awesome.
it. It's cool.
It's a good business. I think we'll grow it a lot more this next year. I think it's exciting. I think we've learned a lot of the lessons that we needed to learn on how this thing could actually operate and work operationally. You know, there's always, you always have an idea of the best case scenario, and then you've got an idea of, in your mind, how, you know, if things go wrong, kind of the worst case scenario. And then there's the actual scenario, which sometimes lands in between. Sometimes it's worse, or just stuff comes out of left field. But I think overall, I think we did pretty well. And I think this next year is going to be, you know, 10x this year.
Oh yeah, easy. It's going to be a good year. We've had, obviously, we started, like I say, it was probably June or July. We served our late July. We served our first piece of food, and then the truck had to go back in because of the, what's it called? The CV joint. Yeah, the differential and the drive shaft, which was a pain because that was 4 weeks, and that cost us £1,700, which is $2,200. Then it went back in for its MOT, which is a yearly test to make sure it's roadworthy.
Mm-hmm.
That cost about $200. I think it was all right actually. It passed. The engine, the blokes at Cen-Trium actually said it's probably one of the best engines of 12 years old we've ever seen. There's nothing wrong with the engine. The engine's fine. It's just some of the structure was a little bit worn, which has all been replaced brand new from Cen-Trium itself, so that's all cool. The oven and the fridge itself, they're perfectly fine. They need servicing in January, about the 20th. So we're rocking and rolling. But to save all these, you've got to have that, you've got to have that. To have a truck just on the road for me to taz around is perfect. And this truck, we will subcontract out and pay a daily wage, but they have to buy the food from us. So it's about 1.6 BNB a day earning potential with someone else driving the van. So they basically have it, sign a contract. It's not a franchise, but kind of the same model. They take it away. We give them a fixed wage. As long as they buy the food from us and stick to our values, which is kind of franchise, but not, then they just sub the van and away they go. And they can earn a decent amount of money, because if they hit a certain target, i.e. over 2 BNB per day, and I'm saying BNB in terms of relating it to crypto, everything they sell above 2.2 BNB, they get 20% of the profit that we make on the day. So it incentivizes that person to sling more food, which means we cook more, sell more, earn more. And then we have another van with me on board, and then we rinse and repeat, and then it becomes its own franchise model through evolution, as opposed to buy 10 trucks and franchise them. We slowly but surely send these trucks out with different people, and that's the way
we got to do them too. Because obviously, it's just more difficult. You got to have a commercial kitchen to do the 10 and be cooking all of it, and you got to do that sooner. Right now, we've been able to operate out of what we have, and we can.
Well, that's on the roadmap for next year as well.
2-3 trucks,
quarter 3, 4.
Yeah. So not too bad, but I have a pretty hard stop in about 5 minutes. So okay. What else do you want? What else should we chat about while we finish this up? Crypto's been a little interesting lately, as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in full diversification at the moment. I'm looking at your channel, seeing what you're into, and then hopping in myself. I've got a video to do on one of the things that you've put me onto. So obviously you get my referral, because you basically said you've done all the research. I don't know anything about it. You're going to let me let Lee know. I just think, Carol was unfortunate, the flash loan attack on the base ETH side, which has obviously seen a drawdown on the BNB side, as people fear it might happen again, even though they've said it won't. It's just unfortunate that these things happen just when we had a conversation. It's me and you, it's our fault, because we were saying Carol's just going to pay out for months and months and months. A nice little side hustle. We can use the money, we can pool it together, we can play street vendor wars with it, and then, it happens.
And sure enough. Yeah, my thoughts on Carol, and I was kind of going back and forth in chats with Richie on this too. They just kept making changes, and you got to be real careful. He was of the idea that whoever this hacker was that exploited it was just watching them go back and forth between buybacks and no buybacks, and them listing the token on the DEX on that base side, and just laid a trap in case it happened again, and it did. And they took 200K in liquidity and we're out. And they're saying they're trying to see if there's any way that they can offer up to give that person a fee, of whatever amount, and for the exchange for the rest of the liquidity back. That stuff never happened. So that money, I think we can all agree, is as good as gone. And the BNB side, it's too bad that it's affecting the BNB side the way it is, because people are just fearful, so they're claiming, and it's causing all sorts of ruckus on that end. But I get it. You obviously want to protect the capital you have. There's a lot of people that were just letting that base side build up for 3, 4, 5, 7 days. I know Experience Crypto 24/7. He let his build up a ton, and I saw him kind of posting. I texted him the morning of, "Hey, did you get anything out?" And he said no. He lost many thousands of dollars. And so you got to just be careful. The space is super crazy. But you froze up on me. I don't know if you did that intentionally or not. You should look cool in the position you're frozen at. You might have to call back in. Folks, we lost Lee. This may be our close to the stream. Yeah, we lost him. So let's close up the stream now. This is how crypto's been going. Just when you think everything's going well, something happens and people fall off. But thank you guys for joining. We'll do this again so we can talk about the Food Fighters game and all that other stuff, and we'll just crack on. But thank you for your support and your trust in this space, because a lot of that has happened. A lot of turmoil, I should say, has happened over the last 6 months, and you guys have all just been hanging in there for us. We really appreciate that. But more good stuff to come. Hopefully you guys know that this is the protocol. Everything we do in the ecosystem is unruggable. It's going to be safe. It may not pay the most, but it'll be fun, and you can make good money at it. And during this next year, we'll 10x everything we've done this year. So you can be confident of that. But thank you guys all for joining. On the way out, if you do not mind, smash the like button so more people can see this one, and we'll sync up on the next one. Happy Friday. Happy investing.